Hi everyone, how are you doing? I welcome to my very impromptu Sunday Sussex chat. Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. This is Petal. Hope you're having a fabulous Sunday wherever you are. As you know, we're a channel that supports the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, Harry, Meghan, Archie, baby Lily, Mama Doria, Poola Guy, the chickens, the whole community, Invictus community, all of us here on the Sussex squad. Welcome. Today's, it's going to be one of those days. I don't even know what, I was like trying to find out what time Barron's podcast is. I don't know if it's at 1 o'clock, but it's going to be one of those days. If you need to jump off and go off to Barron, totally fine. It's most likely just going to be a few of us here on this chat. Totally fine. It's one of those days I planned on starting earlier, but got delayed. So it is what it is. I am happy we're here. I'm happy you're here. And so we're going to pull this down music and jump into the chat and see who is here joining me. Yep, there we go. Pull it all the way down and just jumping on over to the chat. Hello, my friends. Let's see who's here today. Dory is here. Georgina, Karen M, our awesome moderator, Karen. Let's see, Norma, Carol, Catherine, Trevor. I think I just... okay, there we go. Daniel Medical, our Two Cents crew member Daniel, Don, Annie, hello. I haven't seen you before. Welcome. Ooh, she's in Australia. Oh my goodness. I would assume it's late at this time. Hello. I'm assuming it's hello is how you say your name. But she says, good morning. It's morning, everyone. It's Monday in Australia. Oh my gosh, it's always so wild to think of what time it is around the world. It's Monday morning in Australia. Wow. Well, welcome. Hello. Catherine, Sweet Knox, Emma Day. Oh, our awesome moderator Lydia is here. And fellow Two Cents crew member Bonnie is here. And Felicia. Hello. And all of us who are not in the chat who is joining us. And just listening, welcome. Again, it's going to be one of those days. I planned on doing this earlier, got delayed a bit. And so I don't know if Barron's podcast is at 1 because I sent him a DM, but I hadn't heard back from him. So I don't know. But again, if you need to jump off and go over to Barron's, I know many people do. And as also my mom absolutely loves Barron's. So she would be one that be leaving me, never mind. She's my mother. Let's just play the guilt trip on her here. Never mind. She's my mom. She would leave me and go over and listen to Barron's. So if my mom would do it, it's perfectly fine for you to do it. So anyway, probably if I wasn't hosting myself, I'd probably jump over and listen to Barron too. So I can't say I blame anybody. So anyways, hi guys. Oh my gosh, Ingrid is visiting. She's joined us from Curacao. Wow. Welcome, Ingrid. But oh my goodness. Let's see. Oh, Felicia says she is from over here in Shuttle Island. Oh, Shutter Island. People are getting 3 million euros in cash. Huh? Oh, you mean one of the wretched ones? That's right. And don't forget that 3 million euros in cash comes in a suitcase. Yes, that's right. So we can talk about that in the chat. I purposely did not make this about that today. I'm like, it's Sunday. It's fun day. It's day for encouraging news and awesome news. And I mean, we could talk about that in the chat, when I'm done going through a little bit of stuff I have here about, that wretched one taking cash in a suitcase. We could definitely talk about that. And tomorrow's podcast is going to be about that. So I was like, let's just leave that for another week and talk about something positive today. So, thank you, Daniel. It's like I love your podcast too. Thank you so much. Okay. Daniel's, let's see. Karen M says the Barron's podcast is on in 30 minutes. For some reason, I never find, and I never get the updates, and I don't know what's happening with my updates on Baron's podcast. So I'm always fishing around, and then I have to like, what time is your podcast? So again, if you need to jump over to Baron's podcast, it's completely fine. But about what we're going to be talking about today, a couple of podcasts or a few podcasts ago, I had asked, if people would be interested in us talking about what Meghan did before she became a royal. And I thought, that'd be cool. Maybe, every other podcast or so, what we'll do is feature one of the things she did, the service that she did before she became a royal. And I thought, well, there's so much negativity going on in the world. There's so much that we're depressing things. Oh my goodness, in the US, especially with the Supreme Court ruling. I'm like, I kind of just want to think of something positive and uplifting and just really, I just don't want to be depressed today. It's Sunday. It's the Lord's Day. It's the day to rejoice. So I was like, something to rejoice over, So I just thought, why don't we do this? And we could do, and many of you might have seen, this, who have been following Meghan for eons. I'm not one of them. Again, I didn't know anything about Meghan. I never even heard of Meghan Markle before I heard Prince Harry was, had a girlfriend and he was dating Meghan Markle. I was like, okay. Then, of course, I had no idea anything about her family, anything about that. So I had no idea. So, and then I had no idea about what she did before. And so all of this stuff that I have learned about her has been after the baby shower that was done right before Archie's birth. So again, that's when I became a squatty. And that's when I, started like, oh, wow, she's actually really cool. So one of the things that this actually was in 2016, before she met Harry and all of that stuff. I mean, she'd been doing stuff since she was 13 that we come to learn, but this was one of the things that I love about it. And this is some of her work as an ambassador for World Vision. And again, some of you know this, and they may have seen this, but the others of us who, and the others who are, came on and started learning about her even later may not know about this, or may just sort of like have a peripheral view of it, or just, sort of heard it mentioned here and there. So I thought, what a perfect day to just sort of look in and see what happened and what she did and what she learned, and, about the people of Rwanda. And I picked this as well because Rwanda has been in the news for a couple of reasons. One, very negative, with the UK shipping off Black and brown people to Rwanda and then keeping, and literally paying citizens in the UK to house white refugees. And on top of that mess, the Commonwealth just had their conference in Rwanda, and I think it ended yesterday or the day before. So Prince Charles and they were all there, and apparently he gave this speech, about slavery that needs to be taught. It needs to be taught in schools and all that stuff. Yeah, like water is wet. That's how I think about that. I mean, for me, I'm not even getting distracted by any of that stuff, because why? Unless Prince Charles is going to sit there and acknowledge what his family's role in the slave trade, what they've done and have not done, and also put a plan together to pay reparations, I kind of just really don't want to hear from them. It's like, you can stay quiet until you're ready to do what needs to be done. I really don't want to hear from you. That's about where I am. But because Rwanda has been in the news, and I thought, look, before Meghan even became a royal, there she was, in Rwanda, meeting them, learning from them, and also serving the community. So I thought we'll do that today. That's my little lengthy spiel about that. But this is really so cool, because this is from World Vision. And again, World Vision, where she was an ambassador. I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger. Yeah, there we go. And so that we can all read it well. Okay, so just a little, and this is from and I got all this stuff from the World Vision website, which has been really great, because I was like, I need some not corrupted place where I can read this. And it says, in 2016, Meghan traveled to Rwanda as a global ambassador for World Vision. She had just been appointed, by the way. global ambassador. She was able to see firsthand the impact that clean water has on the lives of children and communities in Africa. As part of her humanitarian work in Rwanda, Meghan visited Kaziba Borehole. It was built by World Vision in 2013 and continues to bring clean water to 1,000 people in nearby communities. Meghan also visited Bandazi Primary School, where World Vision has built water wells and latrines to benefit 1,600 students. As a strong advocate for gender equality, Meghan was particularly passionate after bringing awareness to girls' lack of access to education. I think, and this is Meghan saying, I think there is a misconception that access to clean water is just about clean drinking water, which of course it is, but it is so much more than that. Access to clean water in a community keeps young girls in school because they aren't walking hours each day to source water for their families, Meghan said. By ensuring access to clean water and latrines and providing a counselor and a special room for young women who are menstruating, girls are better equipped to feel safe to attend schools. And Meghan says, do one act of kindness every day. It doesn't need to be big, just needs to be something. And I just love this. I mean, I love that, again, Meghan's her whole thing, everything about her, especially, yes, definitely bringing water to the community, making sure that community and families are taken care of. But her heart has always been about women, making sure women and girls are educated, making sure whatever it is that's in the way of them getting an education, that it's taken out of the way so that they can attend school. And so sometimes, you don't think, we're here in the US, or we're here in the so-called first world countries, and you never think that not having clean water, one, we never think of not having access to clean water. We would go have a conniption if somehow we wake up one day and, the water is turned off, or, building is doing something, you had to turn the water off. We have a conniption about that. Imagine your whole life spent where you don't have access to water and don't have access to clean water, and you have to travel miles or hours to get that water. So by the time you get back home in the morning after traveling hours, sometimes 3 hours to get water, you come back, you don't have time to go to school because it's way too late. And one, you're too tired to begin with, and so we don't think in terms of that stuff. Like water and sanitary napkins could stop a person from going to school and from getting education. But these are real issues in these countries, as we've seen with Mina Mahila in India, the program there. It's the same thing here. It's like water that's stopping these families and kids because from going to school. And even if you go to school, there is no running water there. There's like one, in this community, there was like one bathroom for all the kids and no running water. So, what did that lead to? Unsanitary situations, kids getting sick, the whole bit. And so that is why shining a light on this stuff, it was so important. And, and so it was fantastic that World Vision got in there in 2013, and they just, got clean water. They dug well, built a whole, water filtration system, I guess you call it, and were able to provide. And so Meghan went in there and highlighted this whole thing and saw the work that World Vision is doing. And this is, we've seen some of these pictures, and I got some of these off of, there's a video I'm going to post in the show notes. I think there was like 4 of them. So I'm going to post all 4 of them so that you guys could go back and see them. And so we've seen some of these pictures on online before of Meghan. This is her in 2016, and it's February 2016. So this was like pre-Harry. I think she met Harry in I think it was July 2016. So this is a few months before she met Harry that she was here in Rwanda taking care. And, people like to have this idea that only service is in the royal family until Meghan and Harry slapped them with service is universal. And so I just absolutely love this. But this is her and her team, I guess, in Rwanda, meeting the community there. And one of the things that is so it blew my mind when I saw this. Was this is a young lady, and I guess that was her mom talking to Meghan and the gentleman in the oranges from World Vision, and talking to Meghan about what life is like, why she's able to go to school, and she has visions for school and all of that, but it's hard because she has to literally travel. The young lady in white, or young girl really in white, she has to travel 3 hours to this river to get water. And if you see the third picture on the right, this is the water that she's getting. It's contaminated. It has parasites in there. And also, she has to look out for crocodiles and hippos in this water. And look at the condition of the water. And Meghan, this is her the water that she got out of this river, and you can see the middle bottom picture. This is the condition of the water that she's getting. And so not only it's a dangerous situation, it's like 3 hours to get, and this is the water that she has. And then the water a lot of times make her sick because it's contaminated. And so this is the kind of situation that again, I was just saying, this is water that situation that keep you home from school, because why you travel 3 hours to get water, it looks like that's what you're drinking, obviously you will get sick. And so it's kind of this circus, like you need the water, but then it's making you sick, and it's like, what do you do? And so it is such a wonderful thing. As you can see, the bottom picture is World Vision coming in, digging wells, making to purify the water. And that's it's like you look at the color of the water in the tap, as opposed to the water that Meghan is holding, and you see the incredible difference. And so World Vision, I mean, they have done such a great job with this. It's like, I mean, look at the difference. Look at the difference, between, and again, look at the Meghan's water and the water in the like a little tub thing in the glass. And so incredible difference, because then you think of the health and all of that, and plus this is in the community, so again, they don't have to travel 3 hours to get water. And so of course everybody's celebrating. I'd be celebrating too. And this is what Meghan saw when she went there, and was reporting, as an ambassador, bringing attention to this is one community in Rwanda, but there's like a whole country that needs this kind of thing. And so it is, I just thought it was wonderful that she was able to travel there. And of course, Meghan didn't just go there and basically give back, but she also learned a lot of dance moves as well. She got stuff out of that, but it was wonderful. And one of the things that I love about Meghan is when she goes there, she saw this. I mean, this is again one community, is as she always does. She doesn't just go and learn, as we've seen with the other shameless ones on Shutter Island, is she does something about it. She doesn't just go empty-handed and it's like, oh, I just want to see what you guys are doing and learn, as they always do there. It's just learn and then leave with nothing, and then you pretty much hear nothing else about that. Meghan does what Meghan always does, And one of the things she did, this is just more pictures of this before we even get to that. They talked about the latrines. With this school, again, there was only one latrine for all of these kids. And again, this is the picture top right is what was built for the kids. And so now the kids have, different bathrooms and stuff. They also have running water, which helps. And this young lady on the far left, she's in school, and she is, she wants to study science, and she loves science. And that is the thing, when you don't have this situation, when you don't have bathrooms. And again, we take this stuff for granted. I mean, you're in the US, it's like you can't even imagine going to school and there not be bathrooms. You know what I mean? There's like everywhere you go, there's a bathroom. And so you can't, and then, you think, what would it be like if all these kids in the school and you only have one and you have no actual running water? So outside, you can see the little white thing in the top right. That's the running water there. You can see it you can also see it in the picture on the left. The sink there with running water. It helps so much. Kids get an education, are able to get an education simply because of water. And the bottom, you can see this is the one of the wells that they big to run the pipes to create this the water filtration thing. And also to this is Meghan helping them in the center there as the workers were I guess doing the pump thing, I guess what they're doing. And so it's been amazing what World Vision have been able to do. And as I was saying, what Meghan always does, Meghan, she sees that sort of thing, and it's like her natural instinct is, how can I help? What can I do to further this? What can I do, and how can I help in whatever way? So after Meghan went there and saw that, World Vision says, while visiting Mbazi Primary School, Meghan she taught students to paint with watercolors using water from the newly installed pipeline in their community. I mean, can you imagine trying to do watercolors with the water that they had before? So from the clean water that they have, she used it to teach them watercolors. That impacted me on what, because I taught kids art. So this is something I would do all the time, it's like using water and it was just, especially I taught little kids. So it's like, they would be a mess with the watercolors, and that's what drew me to this. And it says, Meghan taught students to paint with watercolors using water from the newly installed pipeline in their community. It was an amazing experience, Meghan says. It was an amazing experience taking water from one of the water sources in the community and using it with the children to paint pictures of what they dream to be when they grow up, said Meghan. I saw the water as it's not just a life source for the community, but it can really be a source for creative imagination. And how lucky I am to have been part of that. And it says, Meghan later brought the paintings back to Canada to share the student artist stories at a special World Water Day event called Watercolor Projects. In total, the event raised $15,000, which allowed World Vision to build a new source for water for an entire community. And again, this is so Meghan Markle. She used what they have to help them to learn how to monetize just what they had. And it's like, what you have and is enough. You had water and you had some watercolors you can paint, and I could take that back to Canada, sell it, do an event and raise funds selling your artwork. And look at that, she raised $15,000. An entire community is got clean water because of that. And that for me is just, that is impact. That is impact, and they're the kids doing their watercolors. I just love this. Again, it reminds me of my teaching art. My kids were younger in that, they were what, 15 months to 2.5 years. But this is just, it's beautiful. You see them, and again, using water from their clean water from their community. And this is part of the event here. You can see behind Meghan are some of the artwork for some of the kids that, were, I guess, sold at the event that Meghan did. She says, event hosted by Suit Star Meghan Markle bring clean water to children. And let's see what else. Okay, so and this is sort of a news article by Sishan, I guess, about the event. It says on World Water Day, March 22nd, hope-filled paintings created by students in Rwanda raised enough money to help World Vision build a well. The paintings were the focus of the watercolor project events hosted by actor and activist Meghan Markle at Loomis Gallery in Toronto. World Vision was also proud to announce Meghan Markle as their newly appointed global ambassador for the organization. Again, she is brand new, and this is what she's done. Meghan traveled to Rwanda last month with World Vision to see firsthand the importance of clean water while visiting a school in Gasabo region of the country. She taught students to paint with watercolors using water from their newly installed pipeline in their community. The students created pictures futures based on their hopes and future, which are now brighter because of the recent access to clean water. The painting sessions were captured by photographer Gabor Jurina. Marco brought the paintings back to Canada to share the student artist stories and to raise enough money to support additional water projects with World Vision. The watercolor project was helmed by advertising agent KBS. The event was attended by more than 60 guests. In total, $15,000 was raised at the event, enough to help World Vision build a new source of water for an entire community. And I just love that. I love it. I love it. I love it because of the heart, the passion behind it, and also using what Meghan has, using what the community has. She didn't go out and invent anything. She's literally just used what the student had to say, look, see, what you have is valuable. What you have has value, and people will support you because of that. You know, and it reminds me of the same thing she did with this. You know, with the Together cookbook is the same principle. She literally took what they already had. They didn't have to go out and invent anything. What they had was recipes. They cook. They had recipes to cook all the things that they were already doing. She literally just have them put the recipes together, form a cookbook, and use the very thing to help them do all the things that they've done since. Renovate their entire space at the Hub Community Kitchen, renovate the whole thing, help some of them now gone off and have their own careers. You know, they've been able to do serve their community in so many ways because of this. And again, they already had everything they needed for this cookbook. All they had was somebody to put it together and help them to have a vision for what they already have, and to see, like, see, what you have is valuable. What you have, people need, and be able to monetize it and then help them. And it's the same thing. And it's just, I just like, I love her. I love this. I love her. And so I just, for me, that is just inspiring. It's something that I just, again, we understand for something this small, that's seemingly this small, why so many in the royal family were so intimidated by her, because look at the impact she has. She uses so little and has such a great impact. So I understand why they are intimidated. I understand why they're intimidated by Meghan Markle, because this is fantastic. So that's what I wanted to share. I just wanted to hear your take on it. And we can talk about this, and we can talk about any other things you wanted to talk about as well. Again, it's already 1:03, 1:04. If you need to run off to Baron, I totally understand. Have a fantastic day. You can always see this on the replay. And I will totally, including my mom, if my mom was watching, like, bye, Mom, I see you on the replay. But anyways, so let's just jump into the chat and see what you guys are saying if you're still here. Lydia, our wonderful moderator, says, something people take for granted, clean water. I'm telling you, we all do, take this for granted all the time. The fact that it's just readily available. You never have to think about it. Clean water is always there. It's either in your tap, or you just go, we have filter systems on our tap, or we just go buy a bottle of water. We take this for granted so much. And we see. Joyce says, Meghan's work is documented. What she has done all her life, her resume is solid. That's why the family is so jealous and they can't compete. She is well educated to the global causes. Absolutely. Absolutely. It is, again, since she was a child, the first documented is when she was 13. Of one calling out P&G, Procter & Gamble. And, but, for, even to have that heart at that time, that's not where that started. That started earlier, and especially having a mom with the same kind of passion that she does. And so I love it. Daniel says, I agree with you, Pedal. She leaves her mark. She sure does. I mean, this is something that for the rest of this community, their life, they will always remember this. They'll always remember what Meghan did for them, because again, going there, highlighting what World Vision was doing, and then going back and raising $15,000 so another community can have clean water. They'll always know that, that they had that because someone cared enough to come in and help them at that. So I love it. Tiger Cub. I love that. Hi, Tiger Cub. I haven't seen you in these parts before. Let's see what you have to say. Meghan doesn't need to be told where to go to help. Neither does Harry. They take initiative and make a huge difference for a lot of people. The Scambridges crickets. Or the Scambridges, I guess that's what that is. Yeah, they don't need, and I think that's because, again, they're leaders. Leaders lead. They're not appointed. You don't have to direct them. They know where to go. They know where to go. They can sniff things out and go there. You don't have to tell them what to do. They don't have to tell them, okay, how about you go do this over there? No, they will take the initiative and go do it. So very true, Tiger Cub. I love the spelling of this Tiger Cub. Let's see. Oh, wait. Did you say Ivy? Is Ivy here? You're a gem in the community. Love your work, Ivy. Lydia, did I miss Ivy in the chat? Huh. Sussex Global, hello. I don't know if you're still here, but you may have gone over to Barrett as well. But says, bless you, Lydia. I'm not special. You are special. I say you are. Sussex Global, Miss Ivy. Just one of many loyal squaddies, proud of what we all do. I am absolutely proud of us as well. I mean, in so many ways, on our own, whether, inspired by the Sussexes or not, so many initiatives start, and the Sussexes didn't even know about it until the end. They're like, oh my gosh, people raised all that money, and they were surprised, and so I'm proud of this community as well. But Ivy, we love you. You are indeed a gem. So let's see. Thank you, Lydia, is alerting me. See, I was reading and I didn't see the alert. So thank you so much, Lydia, because it's because of you that I realized that Sussex Global is here. So welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're still here, Ivy. Let's see. Catherine, hi, Catherine Bird says, Meghan is regaining herself. Now she's a wife and a mother of two. I would love her to do a cooking show. I love all of her foodie segments on the Today Show. That would be fantastic. I know she did some really wonderful foodie things on the Today Show. I saw a couple of them, and one of them was that shrimp thing and a corn cup thing that she did. I was like, I mean, I don't even eat shrimp, but I was like, that is very interesting. I would have never thought of that. I mean, granted, I don't eat shrimp, so I would never do it, but it just looked really interesting. She's a total foodie. And I think she would be fantastic if she did if she were to go back and do a show like that. I would absolutely love to see that. Back to her passion. She loves to cook. Why not? So let's see. Let's scroll down and see who is still here. And hi, Ann Fu. She's like, bless fellow and all squaddies. Trinidad and Tobago locked on. Hey, Ann. Hey, my peeps. This is my country folk, Ann Fu here from Trinidad and Tobago in the house. I love it. And she's like, yeah, anything Meghan does is a success. You go, Meghan. We love it, Let's see who else is chatting. Anita222 says, Meghan is hands-on and understands the assignment. She does. She shows up with a plan to help using what's available to people. She does her research and figure out how to help in a way that will have ongoing impact. And this is the thing. This is so important. Again, notice, again, she basically uses the resources that's readily available there. And also too, say, the watercolors and also the recipes, in helping them too. Like, even if she is not there, they can carry that on. That's something that will sustain them. That'll give these kids always a vision, like, wow, I can paint and I can sell my painting. I can make a living. I can make at least some money to buy food. I can make some money to do whatever. They can see value in their work. And that is so important when you give people that kind of, I don't know, belief in themselves, or help them at least to believe in themselves and to to help them to see the value in what they do. That is, that is a lifetime of confidence that you've just given someone, because give them the confidence of, like, wow, let me try something else. Maybe that's what, you know what I mean? And so I love that. And the same thing with these women with their recipes. That's why some of them, they had a vision of having their own food stands and all of those things. And by seeing the value in their work with the Together Cookbook, they now have that. They have their own businesses and their own food stands and all of that stuff. And during the pandemic, was able to give back so much to the community. This little thing is, when you help people to see value in what I'm telling you, that's the thing you want to do. And that's how I love what Meghan does and what she did for them. It's so invaluable. Let's see. Oh, I saw, where was it? Where was it? Huh. I I was gonna I was gonna click on something and it just went away. I don't know what happened to it. Sorry. Lydia says, I'm really looking forward to her podcast, possibly a book about Lily as well. I'm telling you, I can't wait. I'm so happy that other people are just as impatient as I am for her podcast, because then it makes me not feel so bad about the fact that I'm completely impatient. So I am not that, Lydia, you are impatient about this, but I just feel like not so bad about my very much lack of patience. But I am looking forward to this as well, and possibly a book about that would be wonderful. You have the bench with Archie. So I absolutely will love that. And as we know, when they're silent, they are doing stuff. So that is fantastic. I That would be so wonderful if she wrote a book about Lily. Oh, that would be so great. I didn't even think of that. So thank you. Kay Costello says, good day, Pedal, and everyone in the chat. Just popping in. We'll catch you on the replay. Okay, Kay, have fun. We'll catch you on the replay, my love. I'm sure you're running off the Baron. Again, if anybody here needs to run off the Baron, totally understand. Jump off. You can always catch this on the replay. So and we're not going to be too long here anyway, so it's fine. But I just want to get your thoughts, and anything else other than this you want to chat about for the little bit we're here. That is absolutely fine as well. Jody says typo, same watercolor design in her book, The Bench. Oh, okay. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not sure what that means. So explain. But she didn't use watercolor in her book, The Bench. She did have, what is his name that did the illustration? Oh shoot, something Robinson, I think his name was. I can't remember his first name at the top of my head. But yeah, she did have him use watercolors. She did have him use watercolors for The Bench as well. So yeah, but explain what you mean by the typo. I'm not really sure. So yeah, let's see. Black Queen says, "Hello, Ivy dear." Oh, Ivy, your well-researched podcasts are such a treat. Keep killing them with facts. I'm telling you, this is so true. One of my favorite Ivy podcasts is the one where she talked about the spares and how abusive it is. That blew me away. So if you guys have not gone and seen Ivy's, and there's a link to Ivy's podcast in the it'll be in the description. It's actually in the description in our show notes description part. In every podcast, we always put the Sussex Positive podcast there. You can always get a link of it there. But yeah, that episode, Ivy's episode, I mean, blew me away. And I was like, yes, 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 yes. So if you haven't checked out Ivy's podcast, definitely do. So yeah. Let's see. Moving on. Let's see. Rosa says, Petal, do both Prince Harry and Meghan's on what they did before they met each other. Oh, that's a great idea. Thank you, Rosa. I shall do that. So again, what we, what we'll do, I guess, is say every podcast, or maybe I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it on every podcast because it takes quite a bit of research to do it. And so, but very often, maybe every couple of podcasts, whatever, we'll feature one of Harry and one of Meghan. I love that idea, Rosa. One of Harry and one of Meghan, and, what they did before, before Meghan was a royal, and then before Harry met Meghan. That is great because, a lot of people know the ones that are going on now, or the ones while they're both royals. But the before ones are not so much. So yeah. Oh, of course. Bless you, Petal. Ivy, you're awesome. We love you. Absolutely do. Let's see. Moving up, Lanny. Is it Laney or Lani? How do you say this? Do me a phonetics, Lani or Laney Harris. I'm assuming Laney. I would say lady. How are you? She says, Meghan has a heart for people. Her compassion and love makes her stand out. People like Meghan need to be lifted up in prayer continuously. She is a rare gem in this world. And that is so true. That is so true. I mean, their heart is, nobody is perfect. We all have stuff. Nobody's perfect here. And so we're not saying, Meghan is perfect. Nobody's saying that. But when someone's heart and their every inclination is to do good and to bring good to the world and to meet needs of people, this is absolutely true. These are people that you literally need to lift up in prayer, and because they really are a gem in the world. I cannot say this has always been that this is my heart. Sometimes I'm like, you know what I mean? And sometimes I don't always be thinking good about people or thinking good about, the most positive things. And I don't always have an inclination to help anybody. I really love helping myself a lot, but I don't really have an inclination to always be helping people. Just be bluntly honest, Sometimes I'm like, do I have to? That's sometimes my heart and my mindset. And then I have to do things to change my mind and change. So, but there are some people that their every inclination, their natural go to, their everything about them is this. And she happens to be one of those people. They're really rare gems in the world. And so that's why when I see people attacking her and going after her, for me, that's like, I always think of that. What is that film? And I have to watch it again because I don't even know if this is what the film is about. But it's like, To Kill a Mockingbird. It's like, you don't kill a bird that's just there to sing beautiful songs or whatever. That's kind of how I feel about stuff like this, where when you see people attacking people that are literally just there doing good. They're not asking you for anything. They're not demanding anything of you. Their natural instinct is to do good. You don't attack them. You just let them do good and be the light that they want to be in the world, And so I thank you, Laney, for saying this because, yeah, She really needs to be lifted up, and she is one of those gems, that I need to I aspire to be, because Lord knows I'm not one. So just be real. So let's see who else is saying stuff in the chat. Bisani Golf, hi Bisani, our Two Cents Crew member Bisani. She says, Petal, have you seen Chuck's cash in the suitcase scandal in London Times? Yes, Bisani, I have, and I've literally decided that we're just going to leave Chuck until tomorrow. We're just going to focus on something positive today. But yes, we've seen Chuck with his slimy hands on this Arab leader's cash, his suitcase of cash. And it's just one of those things where you're like, if this was Harry and Meghan who received millions of dollars in cash in a briefcase from an Arab leader, we would not hear the end of this conversation. We would not hear the end of it. But yet here is your future king receiving cash. And we know, we've talked in this podcast over and over and over again about the corruption, Prince Charles' corruption. And my stance is always this: if you are fine with Prince Charles as he is, then you should have no problem with Prince Andrew, because they are one and the same. They are equally corrupt people, one and the same. Prince Charles is no different. So whatever Prince Charles is in and whatever liberties he has in the royal family, Prince Andrew should have the same, because they are the same in every way, And so, yeah, it's just, and again, we've also talked about the corruption with, last podcast, I think, or 2 podcasts ago, we were talking about the Queen accepting, a horse from Azerbaijan leader, the same one that the Crown Estate purchased a 67 million pound apartment building from, that they claim was corrupt, and the Azerbaijan family purchased, they have from their trust company in the British Virgin Islands. They purchased this apartment building for 33.7 million pounds. And then the Crown basically, and they're thinking that 33 million pounds was dirty money. They think it's laundered money, that obviously when you're doing stuff in the British Virgin Islands, tax shelter British Virgin Islands, that usually have its center in the city of London, a lot of that money is dirty money. And so by the Crown Estate purchasing that building and basically giving them over $30 million profit, they've legitimized, they think potentially legitimized money laundering. So we've talked about all of this mess. So for me, seeing Prince Charles taking cash, and we know, gosh, watch any movie with mafia, and when you see people with a suitcase of cash, millions of dollars of cash, it's usually dirty money. It's usually laundered money that they cannot put in a bank. They cannot legally put in a bank or something, so they can only have cash. Who in their right mind would who is not corrupt, would take millions of dollars in a suitcase in cash? Only the royal family would do that. And yet the press in England still have the audacity to be writing about, these people who we take money from is corrupt, and Prince Charles, they're basically depicting Prince Charles as this naive person, as opposed to the corrupt person that he is. The entire system, the entire monarchy is corrupt. Prince Harry said specifically, I have seen behind the curtain. I have seen the business model, and I don't want any part of it. What do y'all think he was talking about? And so it is just, and again, if this was Harry and Meghan, they would not have the, the pleasure of some of the headlines, those very respectful headlines of Prince Charles accepted, their money, but, it actually went to charity. They wouldn't have that. They would not have been given the benefit of a doubt that Prince Charles has, so it is just, it's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous, because people in the UK, the press, do not want to speak the truth. They do not want to speak the truth that the royal family, the Queen, Prince Charles, Prince William, they are a corrupt people. That entire institution is corrupt to the core. And so, and even with that, they were like, with Prince Charles' money, it's like, oh, we passed that money on to Coutts. Coutts is like a financial investment company, whatever. Well, if you look into Coutts, some of the places Coutts have their offices, well, duh, tax shelter, Channel Islands. Who's in the Channel Islands? Jersey, Guernsey, the Isle of Man, hello. They also have it in, it's just like, oh my goodness. It's utterly ridiculous. It is utterly ridiculous that this man is going to be the future king, and people aren't just like, at this moment, it's like, just get rid of this horrendous monarchy. They are of no value to you. So I could go. We'll do a podcast on it tomorrow. And that's why I didn't talk about this, because I could go on about this forever. But anyway, back to more positive stuff. I just guess unreal. Thank you so much, Lydia. Please remember to like and support the channel. Yes, please do. Please remember to like us. And also join our 2 Cents crew and be part of supporting the channel on a monthly basis. We appreciate that very much. So thank you. Please share. We're trying to build the community. Please share it with your friends and family as we grow. We're trying to get to 5,000 quickly. Thank you so much who have already subscribed. Share it with your friends and make them subscribe too. Yeah. So Cookies and Cream, our awesome moderator, is here as well. She says the more on the royal family and their racist henchmen try to tear down the Sussexes, God keeps elevating them. They are destined for greatness. Very, very, very true. Very, very true. At this point, I think the majority of people are seeing through the nonsense of the royal family. They're seeing through all those attacks, because when you match it up with the things that the Sussexes, as we know, the things that they've been attacking the Sussexes over, the royal family has been doing everything, including the fly on the wall documentary that the latest things they've been attacking them. Oh, they have Netflix camera following them around, and yet here we are, Netflix camera following around, Queen Camilla for her guest editing some magazine. I guess it's Vogue or whatever magazine she's guest editing. We have cameras following her around, including in their homes. I think Clarence House or one of their homes, they're following her as well. And it's just, all the things they attack the Sussexes over. That's what they're doing. They're going to leak stuff in America. But yet we have Prince William, through his friends that he allowed to leak stuff to, the Daily Mail. Hello. So anyways, moving on. Mary Mann says the UK of derangement is very corrupt. Charles has already been reported, and his aide Michael was removed, with Charles being criminally cleared as usual. Not the first time or the last. Well, I think the first I know with that, yes. Well, they claimed Michael Fawcett was removed. But knowing his relationship with Charles, that's probably just a publicly it is. But, I'm sure somewhere along there, Michael Fawcett is still part of this. They're just not publicly saying it, because they've done that before with Michael Fawcett. Charles, I know the Metropolitan Police were, they're apparently still investigating Charles's charity and Charles's possibly involvement in Cash for Honor scheme. That's still ongoing. And of course, even with this situation, it's like, we're going to investigate ourselves. And we know you think that we will find ourselves guilty of taking, it's just, the ridiculousness of this is unreal. Bassani says, Coutts is the family private bankers. Yeah, I know. They are finally bankers, but it's the same Coutts, the same company that has offices in the Channel Islands, Jersey, Guernsey. They also have They also have offices in, I think what, Switzerland, the other tax haven, and also what is that other Caribbean island that is famous for tax evasion, money laundering? I mean, it's a whole bit. Cayman Islands, they also have offices in Cayman Islands. I mean, this is the same coots. And so when you have, and especially when you have offices in all these places, and I think also in London, I don't know if that they are specifically in the city of London or they're close by the city of London, but but it's like whenever I hear companies that have offices in especially these places like the Channel Islands, Jersey, Guernsey, and also you know any other, say, tax havens, that always gets me like, something is off there. Those are always like alarm bells go off. And any company that will, would not sound a major alarm at the fact that a Middle East dictator is giving you a suitcase of millions of dollars in cash, then there's something very wrong here. Something very, very wrong. And even the people in, Prince Charles's people are sitting there counting money. Like, and even the article talked about one of the people that was literally counting the money is one of the people that Charles's foundation hired, or she had a position, and I guess they elevated her to a position that would bring credibility back to help bring credibility back to the foundation. This is a woman that was sitting there counting money, counting cash of millions, and she's the one that they're counting on to bring credibility back to I mean, this whole thing is a mess. And that's like, this whole thing, this is why you get rid of the monarchy. It's unreal to me. So Joyce says these charities don't work in the sense of raising money. They go to rich people to get money, but are these rich people getting for those suitcases full of money? Oh, so what are these people getting? I mean, what's on record is that they get naming rights to different things, but that's just what's on record. Heaven knows what they get off the record, we saw with Mr. Mahfouz when we remember we talked about Mr. Mahfouz a lot, who basically, Charles and his people sold that whole cash for honors things. They basically sold honors to him for cash. And one of the things that he got was, access to the Queen and Prince Philip. Yeah, that's one of the things that was one of the things he got. And so, yeah, including naming rights for, I guess, a garden, I think at Dumfries House. And this whole thing is an absolute mess. And of course, part of these millions for the cash millions was to help Charles's charity in Scotland. And again, what's in Scotland? Dumfries House and the Castle of May. It's the same pattern. It's the same pattern with this whole thing. It is all a scam. It is all corrupt. So yeah. Unreal. Let's see. Going on. Let's look at. Oh wait. Sorry, let's see. Anita says, like the mafia back in the day in back rooms with money counting machines. That's exactly it. That's exactly what you think of with these people. I mean, did nobody think to sound a major alarm here? The fact that you're sitting there literally counting millions out of a suitcase. I can't even imagine. And again, that's the thing with Prince Charles. Prince Charles will never hire people that will challenge him. That's the one thing you always know about Prince Charles and the people he hires. He only hires yes people. He will never hire people that will say no to him. And this is why this stuff is happening, because any one of these staff members that Prince Charles has, none of them will challenge him. He doesn't hire people that will challenge him. So it's all, well, what Prince Charles wants is what Prince Charles gets. It's basically what that is. Bicester Ventures NIG Limited. Okay. Hi, Bicester Ventures. I'd never seen you on here before, but so welcome. Let's see. Charities, foundations, etc. are avenues people use in stealing/laundering money. Unfortunately, this is the case here. Unfortunately, and it's God. I'm t- it's unreal. It is very true. Unfortunately, very, very true. And you look at Prince Charles's foundation that supposedly help people in some parts, but then can you really look at these foundations and think like, these people are on the up and up? I mean, would you really want your name attached to any of this if you're thinking of, oh, maybe they want Prince Charles's foundation want to fund my organization or something? Would you really, really want that attached to your company, that maybe they're a part of this? I don't know, but anyways, Dolores says there's a cash machine from Coots downstairs Buckingham Palace. Some of the staff at KP worked at the Bank of Scotland and then worked at BP. Some who now work at BP again. Oh my Lord. It's like this revolving door. It's like the royal family and the British government, say Simon Case was at the government and then he works for KP, Kensington Palace, and now he's back with Boris Johnson. It's like this revolving door that it's unreal to me that this is allowed to happen. It's oh wow, thank you, Nafisa. I appreciate it. Nafisa Shabazz. Thank you so much for your super sticker. I appreciate this. Appreciate your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. It's Mary says, was the bullying claims now released to cover this cash for honor scandal? Could be. People were saying that it was to cover up something from Boris Johnson a few when it came out. I don't even. So many things come out with this stuff that I've lost track of what it's covering up. Again, with the bullying scandal, I think the sovereign grant report is supposed to come out in a few days. I don't know what day it's supposed to come out. I was trying to find out, but I haven't been able to see it. Who knows? This could be it too. Apparently, from what I'm, if it's true, Charles's people were only given a few hours to respond, and then Gabriel Pregand, he has been the one at the Times who's been reporting this, all of those cash for access honors, all that stuff. He's been the reporter, and he has someone else, other than I think it was Dinesh or something person that was doing it with him, but he's been like one of the lead reporters reporting on all these scandals with Prince Charles. So apparently they only gave the palace. So I don't know. I don't know if this was the cover for it. But I do know that the Times is trying to cover this over with the Prince Charles's speech about slavery. I'm like, yeah, no, we're not. We're focusing on Prince Charles the Crook right now. Unless Prince Charles is saying that I accept that my family was part of the slave trade, that we are profited from it, and we're still profiting from it, and we are going to make reparations. I don't want to hear from Prince Charles and his slavery speeches and Prince William. I don't want to, unless they're taking full responsibility and making reparations. I don't want to hear from them on that. So that's my thing on that. R. Smith says, hi, R. Smith says, the question is, Petal, are these old escapades? These are old escapades. Who is throwing dirt at Charles like this? Who stands to gain from this? It's so funny because I was thinking that too, and I was thinking the only person that I know stands to gain from this right now is Prince William, or maybe Prince Andrew trying to get back at him. Maybe it could also be Prince Edward, who is still waiting for Charles to say okay, he's going to get the Duke of Edinburgh title, which his father promised him and the Queen promised him. Could be any of those. Some actually a squatty today, and I don't remember which one. I think it was Book Busy, I think it was, who brought up another school for thought in this, and I was like, that could also be a thing too. Her take on this is this could be the palace doing a controlled leak of all of this stuff, because Charles has a lot of skeleton in his closet. And it could be that the palace is doing a controlled leak, in that they're leaking things that if it came out while Charles was king, it would be a bigger issue than it is now that he is the Prince of Wales. So if they release it now and do a controlled release, in that, if you notice the press around it, people aren't attacking him. Most people are ignoring it. The press, even when they're writing about it, the way how they're writing about it is very much like he is just this naive person and he should have known better. And, we expect better from the king. That's kind of the way how they're writing it. They're not really, if you think in terms of how they would write it, if, say, Harry and Meghan were involved with it, they would go off a cliff. We know that. They are nowhere near that with this. So when she said she thinks this is probably a controlled release because they know it will come out when he is king, that is a very good point. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But that is a very good point, because they know by releasing this now, the press is not going to attacking it, especially the Daily Mail, since him and Camilla have been sucking up literally to the Daily Mail. You see how close they are. Even Camilla the other day was doing an event for the Daily Mail and, greeting Daily Mail owner Lord Ruddermere with a kiss. They are all up into the Daily Mail right now. And so the Daily Mail is, even though they will report it, but they are not going to attack. So this could be a controlled release by the palace, so that when Charles gets there, they could be like, well, all this stuff is already out. We already know, and we accept him. So that is another school of thought. And I thought was yeah, that's definitely is a point. That could definitely be what they're doing as well. I don't know. I really don't know. But, in that point, he definitely controls the narrative, even while on the outside, it looks like, that's definitely a narrative. You're very corrupt. But if the people of the UK don't care that he's corrupt, then it's a win for him. So, yeah. Let's see. Who else is chatting? Claire Kane. Claire says, it's all about distractions and lack of accountability. Talk about lack of accountability. No, it doesn't seem anybody care. They don't care. If that's what you're talking about, Claire, they don't care that their future king is corrupt. They don't, and again, when you look at this stuff, why I go back at the Commonwealth, the leaders of the Commonwealth, is why on earth is this man, was he voted in to be the next head of the Commonwealth? You know what I mean? And so for me, it's just really, and again, as we said yesterday, they are now like, oh, we are uneasy. I'm like, it's been 4 or 5 years. You're just at the place of being uneasy that Charles is, gonna be the next leader. This has been since 2018. You did the vote. You're just at uneasy. It's just like, shouldn't you be way beyond uneasy? As in this conference should have been the one where you'd be like, okay, I know this was what your mom wanted, but we're kicking you out. This should have been what should have happened. Why am I seeing pictures of Prince Charles, Boris Johnson and his wife, and then what's her name, who is, sort of lead the president or whatever her role is of the Commonwealth? Why am I still saying, this should have been where they say bye to Charles. This should have been what this conference should have been. And also bye to her too, and get somebody else there to be sort of the head leader, whatever she role is, president of the I don't know. I forgot what her role is. But anyways, I'm just so irritated at them. I can't even anymore. So R. Smith says, this is not new. Other monarchies have been tagged with a suitcase. Have been tagged with suitcases full of cash from oil barons. Remember, I've seen behind the curtain and I've seen the business model and I want no part of it. Yeah, very true. I don't know what the other monarchies are. I had not heard this because I hadn't focused on other monarchies. I hadn't paid attention. So I didn't know other monarchies. They also had, wad full of cash in a suitcase from oil barons. I didn't know that. So thank you, R. Smith, for the edu. So for that one, it's just unreal. But yes, we always go back to Prince Harry's like, I see what y'all do, and I don't want any part of that. I don't want to be any part of that. So very interesting. Um, Oh, Chodisi says, it is all the more reason why Michael Fawcett, or M. Fawcett, was employed since he was a teenager and muddy the waters with his tirades and racist behavior. Charles supports him no matter who he abused and attack. Um, he attacks. Mo. Yeah, that is. I'm telling you. Wasn't there one of Charles's secretary took them to court because of Michael Fawcett's racist behavior towards. I mean, she didn't win the case, but Charles still supported Michael Fawcett no matter what he says. It's like, oh, about racism and against racism. This was in his own office, and they didn't support her. She quit, and they didn't support her. And so among so many other bad behaviors for Michael Fawcett, and Charles still supported. So that's why I say with Michael Fawcett, publicly, he's not working with Charles anymore. But privately, I'm sure there's a relationship still there. They're just not telling people, and they know people are stupid. They will not go investigate it. They know they wouldn't, so they can get away with this kind of behavior. So yeah. And I didn't know he was a teenager when he started work. I know he's been working there for a long time. I didn't realize Fawcett was a teenager when he started. Interesting. People spend their life with this family. No wonder they're all corrupt. Oh, thank you, Ivy. I'll see you next time. So I have to love and leave you now. Enjoy the chat. Chat again soon. Bye from Ivy. Bye, Ivy. We love you. See you next time. Looking forward to your next podcast. She is awesome. Let's see. A few more before we end. Scooching up to see what I missed. Oh, Kenitha. Hello, Kenitha. She says, from day one, Kate was jealous of Meghan because she would have Googled her and saw all the work Meghan did before joining the royal family. She never thought that Harry would have left with Meghan and Archie. I'm telling you, I would hate to be in Kate's shoes because knowing, or at least not knowing because I don't know her personally, but seeing her character and looking at, just imagine her Googling and seeing all the things Meghan did, and she did not need royalty. She did not need to be a royal to do all of these things. I mean, just, say the Rwanda water project that she did. I mean, I could see why she was intimidated. Because she was there 10 years before Meghan got there, and she has not gotten it. She still hasn't gotten anything close to this, and Meghan didn't need, again, royalty to do any of those things. So I am not surprised that they created this toxic environment at Kensington Palace where neither her nor William trusted Meghan, and the whole bit what they did when driving Meghan out and Harry out of the UK. It's again, you look at this sort of thing. It's like you then look at the work that you did or have sort of. Well, I don't even know if you call that work, but that is intimidating. So now I guess it's like happy to see like no wonder they would do what they did. Mary says Harry and Meghan of Sussex. I think was very good expose on Michael Fawcett and Charles' relationship. The shade of it all. I'm not exactly sure what you mean, but I know one of the things that happened with when the Sussexes were about to get married, Prince Charles wanted them to use Michael Fawcett because he has like a catering company, I guess, and or a events company, I guess. Prince Charles wanted him to, I guess, cater the event and all of that, and the Sussexes, Harry was like, no. So yeah, it just, difference between them. Harry was not having any of that. And he said no to Michael Fawcett. So yeah, it just shows the fact that Harry's own father wanted him to be, working with Michael Fawcett, with all the mess that Michael Fawcett is. That's what Harry's father wanted him to do. R95K says, no, King from the Netherlands, don't act like this. King Willem looked like a really cool guy when, we all saw him at the Invictus Games with Prince Harry. And there you go. I don't know anything about King Willem, but he seemed like, he didn't seem like this kind of, you can't, judge somebody from outside, but Prince Harry likes him, and Prince Harry, we know Prince Harry, how, what he's like. So, hey, good for Prince Willem for not being like this. Nobody wants their king like this. This is crazy. R. Smith, I was just rolling down. R. Smith again says, Greta, it's just maddening that she did nothing for 10 years. Most parents would have put a foot up her, okay, give her a foot and use that degree they paid for. I mean, it's unreal. She was allowed to both her and William. It's not like just Kate, her and William, neither of them, have done anything really. I mean, William has yet to, other than the Urcha thing, which we talked about, that he's not even his anyway. So, they haven't really done anything. And so again, jealousy came into that. But anyway, guys, let's see if we can get one more person and then we'll all jet out of here. I'm sure Baron is still going over. We can jump over to Baron. And thank you guys, all 216 friends who hung out with me, and the rest could see it on the replay. And let's see, one more before we jet out. And scrolling up. I love how everybody's like encouraging Ivy. I love it. I absolutely love it. She is absolutely wonderful. But anyway, I guess everyone is quiet, and that is okay. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for the hour and 16 minutes. I appreciate it. I know it was one of those impromptu things. Thank you, as Cookies and Cream saying, please stay safe and hydrate. Pray and hydrate. Thank you so much, Cookies and Cream. Thank you so much, Lydia, reminding all of us to like the videos, subscribe, and to join. Yes. And also, there are ways that you can also support us. Again, joining the channel is one of those ways. Also, we do have merchandise, please. Most times I forget to bring up this picture. But yeah, we do have merchandise. The link is in the show notes. Will be in about 5 minutes when I put it in there. It's on all our videos. We do have backdrops, art backdrops that my dad drew, and you can, if you like that as well, all the same link. Just do a little bit of scrolling, you'll find them. So definitely we do have PayPal, Cash App if you'd like to support the channel. No obligation at all. Or if you want to, on the bottom of this video you'll see a heart and a little $sign there. That's the way you can use to support us. I guess it's a little more private than if you go on Cash App or PayPal. So either way, thank you so much for all of you who have supported us in the past and still continuing to support us. We appreciate you so much. Thank you again, you guys. Have a fantastic weekend. Well, it's Saturday, so I guess fantastic last few hours of the weekend, I should say. And we're just gonna have some music to take us out, some into space music to take us out. Have a fantastic rest of the day. Hey, go hang out with Baron if you haven't. I'm gonna pop over there for a second to see what's up. And I love you all. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody. Oh, by the way, before I say bye, thank you, Lydia. Thank you, Cookies and Cream, Karen M, for being our awesome moderators. Thank you. Love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.